Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to another session of Parents First. It's good to have you all here. And today we're talking parental authority. And we have with us as our guest speaker, Dr. Madu. So Dr. Madu is a professor of hematology in the College of Medicine, University of Nigeria. He has been a part of the National Association for Family Development, also known as NAFAD, the Enugu chapter. Dr. Madu has been a trainer of young parents for the past 15 years. He's a board member of Ugboazu Foundation, an NGO which runs the Roseville and Hill Range primary schools. Dr. Madu is a marriage counselor and is happily married with 6.
So, the aim of this presentation is to explore the delicate balance between parental authority and fostering a strong bond with your children, and ultimately helping them to become confident and responsible individuals. The hope and aspiration of every parent is that we want to see our children grow up to be better than we are in every way possible. And every parent means it in a very nice way. And we all want our children, and we say to them, "I'll do me." Yes. And when we, in the future, we want to look at you and see those cultures and those characters and traits that we share as members of our family. So that is why many people have said that the true success of a man or the true success of parents is seeing their children grow up to become what exactly they planned them to be. Parenthood, as far as I'm concerned, as many people have said, is a beautiful yet complex journey. It's one of the most difficult tasks on earth, no matter what anybody thinks, because it requires your whole time, your whole being, your concentration, and you just have to get it right. Before we go on to start talking about the authority, which in some cases people regard as see just the negative side of it, I want us to first discuss the issue of bonding, because bonding and authority are very, very closely related. Authority is a consequence of bonding done earlier in childhood. One crucial aspect is understanding the role of parental authority and its interplay with powerful bonding. You can't demand or you can't exercise any serious authority if you have no bond with your child. That bond is what is you develop very early in the childhood or very early stages of the growing up stage of the child. So this presentation will also delve into those concepts, offering insights to guide you on the journey of how this bonding is formed and how exactly it begins to work later in life. Okay, so let us also look at, first and foremost, the roles of the parents. First, the father. Okay, so the father embodies law and structure within the family. The father is the person that engages with the outside world. The father deals with outsiders, the mechanic. The father deals with the landlord. The father deals with the teachers, the authorities. Okay, the father is the head of the household. If a child misbehaves, we say, where is his father? Okay, so the father is like the bridge between the individual children in the family and the outside world. And children learn about the outside world from their father. Okay, so it is the father that says, no, you can't do this because it's not acceptable. Okay, so the father represents laws and culture over time. Okay, as well as government. So the father takes boundaries within boundaries of relationship between the individuals in the house, basically the children, and the outside world. Okay, always trying to balance happiness and guidance, okay? Guiding them together with a lot of love and respect, as Pope Francis highlighted. This role of the father involves guiding their children, ensuring their safety and well-being while nurturing their happiness and independence. So it's an intricate thing, okay? While the father, on the other hand, the father, once the child is born, the father is like he represents strength, physicality, protection. Okay, so you feel the strength of the father. He throws the child off, he carries them in his arms. Okay, and they feel the strength. It's just like the father is saying, "Feel me, feel my strength." Okay, and I'm here always to protect you. Okay. On the other hand, the mother embodies love, warmth. The mother is like the person that children see as embodiment of the home. Okay, she offers milk, warmth. She smells fresh. Her body is soft. So the mother is more of an embodiment of love and care. Okay, and trying to teach the child often to develop their emotional well-being. Okay, she nurtures and provides the secure base from which the child explores the world. Okay, so she nurtures the child in empathy and healthy relationship. Okay, so both parents balance themselves. Okay, the father is physicality, protection, okay, and law and order, while the mother is warmth, okay, love and care, as well as food. Okay, so both are important in the psyche of the growing child. Okay, then as the child grows up, being nurtured by both parents, the child develops a secure bond, which is the cornerstone of growth. Okay, this bonding is what you build with your child and serves as the foundation for emotional and social development. Bonding over time, discussing issues. Okay, first and foremost, see you as a child. A toddler grows up, sees you as the protector, you provide food as the father. The mother also provides love and warmth, making sure they are well taken care of. Okay, looking after them when they are sick. All these episodes and periods in their life growing up develops. That is when the bonding develops. Okay, and a secure bond shapes how your child sees themselves and the world. Okay, a bonding with your father, a bonding with your mother gives the child a concept of who he or she really is. Okay, also there's also a non-verbal emotional connection. Okay, when you see a child, you already feel this child is not looking happy, or my boy or my daughter is not looking happy. Okay, so you say, what is the problem? Even without being told, somebody may be sick, you say, you're looking ill, what's the problem? These are non-verbal connections based on body language. We also teach the children how to communicate and bond with others. Okay, also this has a positive impact on their development and leads to confidence and balanced adulthood. Okay, in situations where both parents are there and are active, most of the time the children are balanced. Okay, there was a study done by James Stenson. Okay, he's one of my favorite persons when it comes to parenting. Okay, he said he wanted to find out of the children in high school, whose children are the people that do not mess up when they come to school, in terms of whose children are the people that do not bow to peer pressure. Okay, whose children are the people that do not take drugs, do not get tattoos, depending on how you look at tattoos. Okay, whose children are the people that don't start engaging in sex at a very early age and things like that. And he found out that these are people that have very close relationship with their parents, especially their fathers. Okay, I want this to sink in because it is very, very important. Even if we check amongst ourselves and our friends growing up in university and secondary school, the people that we know that behaved well in secondary school and in university, if you have the opportunity of engaging them, you will find out that they have a very close relationship with their parents, especially their fathers. Okay, this is very, very important as this is what is going to form the basis of the authority that is going to play out later in life when they grow up. Okay, actually the concept of authority should actually be a guiding light, not seen as being authoritarian or lording it over everybody. No, authority comes from the Latin word augere, which means to grow or to develop. Okay, it provides, being done by the parents as well as the authority sometimes can be by the states in some issues. Okay, provides rules and guidelines. Okay, so it creates a framework for safe exploration. So people know actually what they should do and how they should do what they should do. Okay, it's not about dominating. So authority fosters trust and understanding. It's not about dominating anybody. Okay, it's about following based on respect, not based on fear. So authority should be based on respect, not based on fear. And this trust, okay, that fosters or there's the background of authority is something that is developed over time. Okay, it's not about imposing your will, which will only create sentiments and distancing from the children. So we also have to realize that authority also comes with responsibility. What do I mean? If my teenage daughter wants to drive, she has to realize that first and foremost, you have to be 18, okay? Because when I give you the car keys, then it means you can also go to jail if you knock down somebody and you're driving before 18 years, yeah? So it is part of my authority to say, no, you can't drive until you're 18. If I give you the car keys before you're 18, I'm causing you harm, because if you hit someone, then you're not authorized to drive. Yes. So authority comes with responsibility. If you can also drive a car, then you can also go to the mechanic. Then you can also fuel a car. Okay? So you can't just be a driver enjoying the driving, if that is what you call enjoyment, but you don't want to go with the responsibility that comes with it. Okay? If they give you authority of walking down or going to the bank or going to the market alone, then you have the responsibility of looking after the money in your purse. Okay? Or looking after the check or daddy's check or mommy's check in your pocket. Okay? So authority implies responsibility. It also implies trust. Okay? I can give you authority to handle your siblings in terms of helping them with their lessons. Yeah? But I also give you the responsibility of making sure that you don't overdo it and you don't start beating your siblings up. Okay? It also involves collaboration and not control. Okay? In every instance, trying as much as possible to let them see or let your child see that this is what needs to be done and we all need to work together as a team. It's always good in a family to let your children know that, like when you're talking to them, you say, we don't steal. That's the power of we. Okay? Not you don't steal. No, not you don't insult your elders. We say, we in this family, we don't insult our elders. We in this family, we don't steal. It's better so that the child knows culture and is not a directive. We, your mother and all your siblings, we don't carry out exam. We are not into examination malpractice. In this house, we don't do this. Okay? We don't lie. Okay? It is we. That's the power of we. Okay? That's something that we can all pick up. Okay? Not saying you don't do this or you don't do that. Okay? So we'll talk about the various parenting styles. Okay? And understanding the different parenting styles. Okay? First and foremost, it's important to realize that parenting is raising a child. As raising a child is a very beautiful and a very complex journey. One crucial aspect is understanding these different parenting styles. Probably we have all been using one of these styles or the other, okay? But maybe we didn't know it was actually a different style, okay? Many of us, again, have a combination of these styles. So this presentation is going to handle the different parenting styles that we have available. I'll try as much as possible to give some examples of those parenting styles and what they actually imply as we move ahead. Okay? So the first parenting style, okay, which may not be the which may or may not be the one you're practicing, is called the authoritative approach. Okay? The authoritative approach, there's love and respect and there's reasoning. Okay? It is a beautiful blend that combines warmth, respect, and open communication. What do I mean? At what age do you let your daughter decide which dresses to buy? And should she actually decide which dresses to buy? Remember, we are training young adults. Don't ever believe you're training children. Always have it at the back of your mind that you're training young adults. Whatever you cannot accept in an adult now, don't accept it in your children. because it's better you change it now than trying to change it as they grow older. Okay? The authoritative approach strikes a balance between love and guidance. Okay? Here, the parents set the rules. Okay? Clear expectations, but they explain the reason. You have to, the video game has to go off or the television has to go off from after school time till 6 p.m. That's the why. Okay? And you explain why. Because you need to read and the television is a distraction. Some of them will argue, we can use the television. There are some of them are educative, some of the programs are educative, and we actually learn and blah, 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 blah. But we set the rules, but we give clear reasons why things should be the way they should be. Okay? You clear your plate after feeding, or after eating, not you. We clear our plate, which means, you know, the difficult thing about parenting is that whatever you're telling the children, be sure that you and madam or you and your oga are ready to obey the rules too. So you see, say we clear our plate after eating, then also be ready to clear your plate. We don't drop our shoes in the dining or in the parlor, then you should also be ready to clear, taking your shoes to your room and put them away where they should be. Okay? So here there are clear boundaries. Children love order. State what should come after each one, okay? And what someone will do, and the person deserves get some punishment. You shouldn't punish people at your whims and caprices. Everybody should be clear of what, if they do, they get into trouble with daddy and mommy, okay? So here there need to be clear boundaries, okay? Then we should, of course, there should be order. There should be time to eat and there should be time to sleep. There should be a wake-up time when everybody wakes up, and there should be different things that are done during different times. Okay? It shouldn't just be the day you are feeling strong enough, or the day you're happy with yourself, you go to church or you go to mass on Sunday. The day you're not happy, there's no mass, and the children don't know what your plans are. Okay? Beautiful. That's why I said in parenting, we also train ourselves. So there should be clear boundaries. And we also, in this case, we also encourage independence in this authoritative approach. How? You engage the child and you want to give reasons and you give room for negotiation or room for discussion. Okay? You cannot say you have to cut your hair skin cut and that is that. Or say you cannot wear jean trousers. That is that. Mommy doesn't like jean trousers and nobody wears jean trousers in this house. Okay? You have to leave the rooms open for discussion. Okay? And let them also provide their views in terms of decency, in terms of what they think, okay, and what is also trending. And you also engage them in that and give them reasons why some things have to be the way they have to be. And you also be ready to give in when they offer superior arguments. That way, they learn to engage with their peers when the time arrives. Because definitely they are going to engage with their peers and they should know the reason why they are doing the things they are doing. Not just because my father won't be happy or because my mother won't be happy. Okay? So this also helps the children to engage, to understand and manage their emotions. And it helps them to become independent thinkers. That is very, very critical in the life of mostly the adolescents. They need to be independent thinkers and they need to be confident that I've argued this with my mom, I've argued this with my dad, and this is what works for us. Children raised in these environments tend to be confident, responsible, and emotionally intelligent. Have you ever seen a 12-year-old boy that talks like an old man? Go and find out. That boy spends time with the parents, or basically with the father. That is what gives children confidence. As young men, they're able to explain things, and they're able to their perception of themselves is very, very superb, and nobody pushes them around. The next approach is the authoritarian approach. Okay, the authoritarian approach means there's no room for discussion. Okay, whatever I say is the rule. Okay, this ensures that there are strict rules. While children may appear well behaved, they may lack critical thinking skills. Okay, and the ability to manage emotions effectively is also lacking. Okay, because they are used to taking orders, okay, or taking directives. They are not free thinkers. Okay, and they actually believe that that is how life should be. Okay, they are used to taking directives. So when they don't get directives, they don't move. Okay, In this situation, there's limited discussion because there's no room for discussion. Okay, it discourages questioning or expressing opinions. Okay, and the behavior of the child is very superficial. All it takes for the child or the adolescent to do is to leave your house, and the adolescent turns into another thing immediately, because whatever you've been talking about is you've just been giving orders without background reasons. Okay, this approach can also breed resentment and hinder open communication. The child is quiet because no matter what I say, no matter what I do, daddy and mommy, they've already decided what they want to do, so it doesn't even matter. Okay, I'll just keep quiet. Okay, the day I have my opportunity, I have my liberty, I'll run things the way I want. So the next approach is also the permissive approach. Okay, in this scenario, the children are given excessive freedom. I'm sure most of us growing up know some households that were quite a bit permissive. Okay, there are minimal boundaries. Okay, so you can eat in your room, you can play video game all day, you have your laptop, you can watch cartoon, your friends can come, they can stay in your room all through the day. Okay, there's limited guidance. Okay, so the parents avoid confrontation. Okay, so the children, you don't want to, as someone said some time ago, there was a woman that came to the clinic once with her son. So the boy was throwing tantrums, and the woman asked the house help, "Don't you know he is hot-tempered?" The woman was making excuses for her son, who was about 9, 10 years old, who was scattering things around. He said, "You should know he's hot-tempered." I mean, you can imagine that child is headed for trouble. Okay, there are challenges with discipline. Okay, the child struggles with self-control because the child is used to getting things done in his own way or her own way. Okay, so these are people that they have problems in the future. Okay, they can't engage any struggle, and even when they come to the workplace, they become problems because nobody can tolerate them. They always want to do things when they want to do things, okay, and how they want to do things, and they believe that it is what it's supposed to be. Okay, while this may seem loving, it can lead to confusion and lack of self-control. Okay, the child has difficulty adapting to situations with defined expectations. Okay, very, very difficult times ahead for the child. One story somebody talked about, one of the lecturers in a university in the US came into the departmental office and said, "You wouldn't believe what I just saw." And they asked him what. He said a young first year student, a young boy, walked into the university first year. Was his first time, so he wanted to find out. He was looking for a lecture hall in maybe, let's say, room 203. That was where the lecture hall was supposed to be. So the boy entered and saw the series that he was on, that everything was in 051, 021, 022, and things like that. And the young man stepped outside the building, pulled out his cell phone, called his mother, and asked the mother to call the departmental secretary to find out where room 203 was located in that building. And that was what happened. So you can imagine, and the boy now had the information and went back to find his lecture hall. You can see that young man is headed for trouble because, I mean, when you can't think, I mean, the worst you can do is to put your head in an office and ask them, after greeting them, just ask them, "Please, where is room 203 or room wherever you're looking for?" Okay? Or you can just ask any other student. Okay? Or you can find your way around it. Okay? So you can also see that young man is going to be in trouble in future. Okay? And this can be an issue even after he is married and he's grown up. He still can't find his way around things. He just doesn't want to be solving problems. So each time he refers the problems to his parents. There's also the one that we can see rearing its head in our society of today, the absent parent, okay, or the religion of duty. Okay, being absent does not mean being physically absent. Okay, you can be in a location, but at home, you're back home with your laptop in your room or in your study, you lock yourself up and put the sign, "Do not disturb." And you, from the time you got into that house to the time you leave the next morning, You only come out to catch some fresh air in terms of watch the news, watch CNN, and move back into your room. This is being bodily present, but in that family or in that home, that parent is not available and might as well have traveled. Okay? These are parents that, due to work pressure, okay, or due to absence, especially in today's world with the Japa syndrome and the parents living apart in terms of work, okay, there are unmet needs, okay, and the children experience emotional neglect and lack of direction. There was a program we had with some university students some time ago. One of the young men there, after a presentation, he said he wanted to make a confession, but that I think his mother died while he was in secondary school, and he just had his father. But his father was always absent. He was rich, he paid for everything throughout his secondary school and his university, but he rarely saw him. So he said after he graduated, he did not speak to his father for more than 5 years because he felt his father neglected him when he needed him most during his years of adolescence and the years that he needed guidance and support. So here, the authority occurs when the parents neglect their responsibility. Sometimes they prioritize their own needs over their children's needs. Okay? Sometimes it can be our career, sometimes it can be our social life. This can lead to emotional neglect and difficulty following rules. Okay? Of course, in the future, there are going to be future challenges. Okay? Then the next so in all this, we need to find some balance. Okay? In all this, we need to find some balance. And just 1 minute. So in all this, we need to find some balance. In some situations, we may be a bit permissive, maybe when there's a gathering in Christmas, okay, a bit permissive and a bit authoritarian, okay, but always finding a good blend and a good balance. But there are some key things that we must always have entrenched. First and foremost, there must be clear boundaries, okay? You don't talk to your mother or to your father like that, okay? You don't beat your siblings, okay? We don't steal, we don't lie, okay? These are things that define character. And we must make sure that these are things that our children have to imbibe growing up. For on those ones, we don't allow any negotiation, okay? Insulting elders, okay? Not behaving well, and also clear boundaries in terms of mind your business. You know, children grow up in the house and they see their mother, you know, in the house. The mother is everything that happens in the house is her business, okay? So the mother comments about everything, okay? And the children quickly learn that. So they think everything that happens in their house is their business. So sometimes it's very important that we tell them to mind your own business, okay? Especially adolescents, okay? Sometimes you just have to tell them, look, this discussion is between your sister, your mother, and I. Walk away. It's not your business, okay? And they also have to learn how to respect other people's privacy, okay? Once there was a story of a young boy, you know, what they say about 13-year-olds, between 13 and 15, that's when you have the adolescents coming up and a lot of children become very, 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 very troublesome, okay? There was a young 13-year-old, he went to his friend's house, so he came back and he was telling his mom and his dad too, look, this guy's house, their clothes on the floor, they are dirty wares in the kitchen and things like that. And the mother had to call him to order. Let him know, look, mind your own business. If people let you into their own house, they let you into their privacy, and you're betraying their trust. Okay? When the people let you into their home, you keep quiet. You don't go out and start broadcasting everything you saw in their house. Mind your own business. So we need to teach them, mind your own business. Okay? We also have to teach them to love and trust. Okay? We should use discipline with love. Always explain the reason why you have to undergo this punishment. Okay, some people also use this method. When a child misbehaves, you ask the child to choose the punishment that he or she wants to get. And in most instances, they choose something tougher than what you wanted to ask them to do. And in that case, you have to, in some cases, you have to backtrack a bit and look like a great guy, okay? So they choose something worse than what you had in mind, and you say, wow, well, this wasn't what I had in mind, but since you've already said it, I'll backscale a bit and you can still do the punishment, okay? Always be open to communication, okay? Always let the children know that, look, I am committed to always making sure I look after you people. But if at any time you feel that I am being overbearing, speak up. I will listen to you once what you're saying is based on facts and is correct. Okay? Based on facts, meaning I don't like, you don't say I don't like something. Nobody likes being corrected. Okay? So you don't tell me I don't like this, I don't know. If you stick to facts, we will trash it out. Okay? And if I see you having a superior argument, I'll concede. Okay? Always assign age-appropriate responsibility. Your daughters should be able to go to market at a certain age. They should be able to also make choices of their own in terms of picking the clothes they want to buy, or they want you to buy, or their own hairstyles. Okay? Don't micromanage the children. You know what is micromanage? You tell them the dress they will wear, the stockings they will wear, the type of hairstyle they will know. Okay? Or leave some space for the child to take on some authority and also some responsibility. Okay? Always leave space for initiative. Okay? Always leave space for things that they can do using their own initiative. Okay? Don't say you must, follow them bumper to bumper. No, allow them time to also do things on their own. Okay? It's always good to let your children know that the difference between a child and a grown-up is knowing what to do and doing what you're supposed to do without being told. We can't be telling you to go and take your bath, go and brush your teeth, then you're not grown up. Children don't like that, okay? So they love to hear it. So you tell them, look, if you say you're grown up, then you should know when to go and read your books. I should know when to watch television. You should know when to take your bath and when you should brush your teeth. Once they hear that, they say, okay, wow, Daddy, I'll show you I'm a big boy, okay? So I don't need you to tell me that I need to go and wash plates. Okay, I don't need you to tell me that I need to go and brush my teeth. My daughter once told me, I asked her, how come every morning I remind you to dress your bed? She said, that is because you remind me. Maybe I need you to keep quiet and see whether I'm going to dress my bed. I was like, wow, that's another blow. So for some time, I also leave her to see whether she's going to dress her bed or whether she still needs me to remind her to dress her bed. So they have to know that freedom comes with responsibility. Okay, that way you're able to grow in to become mature adults. Very, very importantly, we lead by example. We lead by example. The children are watching you. When you say we don't do this, we do this, we don't do this, also be sure of what you are doing. Okay? You can't be pressing your phone 24 hours and you're asking them to study, okay? When you say we sleep by 9, by 12:30, you're still watching Champions League or Z World. No. Okay? So when you set the rules, be sure you're going to also stick by the rules. So in summary, we have to be nurturing faith and freedom. Okay? Faith and freedom. Okay? Parenting is a beautiful yet challenging journey. Okay? But as Christians, we navigate this pathway with faith as our compass. Okay? So we have faith that the children are going to turn out well, no matter all we just need to do is to play our part. This presentation has been exploring the essence of Christian parenting, okay, highlighting the importance of trust, guidance, and prayer. Remember, no matter what you do, it's very, very important to pray for your children. Okay? It's very, very important to pray for your children. You don't know where they came from. It is God that gave them to you. They are not your own. They are individual human beings on their own. The only thing we're doing is to guide them aright. So children are not our property per se. Okay? So always trust in freedom, empowering their growth. Okay? Also accepting risk. Trusting your child's freedom fosters personal development. Once in a while, tell him, go to the bank or stay with the mechanic, okay? Or go and give your grandmother this, give money for transportation, okay? And allow, sometimes you have to, for a bird to fly, just as the picture you see, the bird has to leave the nest. Okay? A ship is safe in the harbor, but ships are not built for the harbor. You must allow these children to step out. Okay? They have to step out once in a while to engage the world using what we have taught them. Okay? Active guidance, correcting wrong choices with love and understanding. Always engage them. Always keep talking. Even when you think they are not listening, most of the time it's getting ingrained in their brain. Okay? Avoid blind support. Okay? Avoid blind support. When the child does wrong, call the child to order. Anything, remember, anything you cannot tolerate in an adult around you now, make sure you don't tolerate it in your children. Eating in the room, not dressing, buttoning their clothes well, not shaving themselves appropriately. Please, it is your business as a parent, okay? To talk and make them realize that as grown-ups, you should be able to take care of yourself. Offer guidance without taking away their independence, or okay, or their personality. Remember, true growth comes from overcoming challenges. It's only in the overcoming challenges that people actually grow. Okay? The power of prayer, of course, it cannot be overemphasized. You need to keep praying for them, keep praying for them. Okay? Parenting is a vocation. Just like priesthood, we just have to recognize the sacredness of raising children. It's not an easy job, but God that has given you that responsibility will also provide us with the graces to make sure that we bring it to a meaningful conclusion. I always tell people in the marriage course, you see, for you to become a priest, you spend many years in the seminary. For you to become a reverend sister, you spend many years in their novitiate. For you to become a doctor or a lawyer or anything, you spend years in the university after secondary school. For you to become a parent, there's no training. The only training you receive or is meant to have received is what you got from your parents' house. Okay? Parenting can be overwhelming, yes. But remember, you are not alone. Okay? God gave you the responsibility, and God will make sure that He puts things in place to offer you support. Okay? And also, God's abundant graces draw strength through prayers. Always take your children to prayer, because as I mentioned, you don't know where they came from. So wherever they are going to get to, make sure you guide them with your prayers and have them in your thoughts. Pope Benedict XVI, in one of his quotations, he said, the worst thing that you can do to a child is neglecting the wrongs or their errors. Okay? And another part of it is also allowing a child to walk away with something that is evil that he or she has done, and he or she is aware that what the child has done is evil, okay, or is wrong. Okay? Make sure that we correct them with love. Okay? We learn from the wisdom of the church leaders. Remember, parenting is a spiritual journey. Seek God's guidance. Raise your children with Christian values. Sometimes the children are going to behave so badly that you're going to be asking yourself, what have I done wrong? Okay? In those instances, don't give up. Okay? You need to take them to your prayer, seek God's guidance, raise your children with Christian values, and trust in His plan for their lives. Remember, the authority you're going to gain tomorrow is from the bonding that you have built over time. Okay? You can't ask your son that is 18 years old or is 21 years old in the university to not to go for a party. Okay? When over time you haven't even had the time to sit with him throughout his primary school and secondary school to discuss about party. Okay? It's completely out of place. So the bonding that you create today will help you foster the authority that you have to put in place tomorrow. Okay? Remember, with God's grace and human effort, children mature. Okay? Ultimately, as I mentioned, all children belong to God. And parenting is a great journey. It's enjoyable. All you need to do is to relax, grow with the children, because yes, we grow with them. The children also, as you're training them, they're also training you. Yeah, they are all different individuals and different with their different nuances and their different problems, and also their different advices and the way they approach their parents and the joy they bring to the family. Okay? Embrace the joys and challenges of this sacred journey. Parenting is a lifelong commitment. Okay? By partnering with God, guiding your children with love and wisdom, you can nurture their faith and prepare them for a fulfilling life. Thank you.
Wow.